Hello, and welcome to In Case You Missed It, Black Audacity Style, where we bring you up to speed today on last week's news and hot topics. Hi, I'm LaWanda Morris, CEO of Black Audacity Magazine, and your host for this evening. So pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into it. Welcome to part 3 of our Democratic National Convention, or DNC, recap. Today, we are going to be looking at the final 2 nights of the convention and what the candidates have been up to since that time. It has been a very, very busy couple of weeks, so let's get into it. In the past few months, the country has been watching the presidential race that will, quite frankly, decide if our country will be pushed into the future and remain a democracy or be slingshot back into the past, depending on who is elected. With the DNC officially ending on August the 22nd, we got to witness some truly inspirational and emotional speeches on the Wednesday night of the convention, where speeches were from Vice President Tim Walz's nominee. Oprah Winfrey was also one of the guest speakers of the night. We also had Rachel Goldberg, Tim Pollen, who also spoke, as well as those are the parents of Hirsch, a 23-year-old Israeli American gentleman who was kidnapped by Hamas, taken hostage during the terrorist attack on October the 7th, and was since murdered by Hamas during the rescue attempt by the Israeli military. We send our condolences. Former National Security Officer Sergeant Gunnell also spoke on the January 6th insurrection that occurred at the U.S. Capitol. The entire event had an overarching theme of joy, freedom, and patriotism. We'll also play a little bit of highlights at the end of this episode. Collectively, these speakers all talked about joy, and they pushed away from the darkness, bitterness, and grudges of the Republican Party as being led by former President Donald Trump. They talked about the future of our country. They said we should choose democracy, we should choose freedom, we should choose for women to have the rights to choose what happens over their own bodies. We should have the right to decide what history our kids are taught, what books that they want to read in school. And as we all know, all of these things are being taken away, stripped away, rights being stripped away from women. Books are being banned and taken out of schools so kids can be taught the real history, American history. And yes, Black history is American history. And so Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, and everyone else who got on that stage during the DNC talked about freedoms, us choosing freedom so that we can move forward with joy and happiness. I don't know about you, but joy sounds really, really nice to me right about now. I'm sick and tired of all the fights, all the bickering, all the lies, all the back and forth. I'm ready for my politics to get back to being boring. Does everybody remember when politics was boring? Well, on the final night of the DNC, Vice President Harris delivered one of the most anticipated speeches of the year. The air at the convention was electric as she accepted the nomination and thus became only the second woman and the first Black woman and Asian American woman to be the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. Now, in her speech, VP Harris spoke about her childhood, about paying tribute to the sense of hard work and dedication passed down to her and her sister from their mother, who raised them to not just sit there and complain about what was going on, but to get up and do something to make a difference, showing us that unlike Trump, VP Harris works for the people, not just for an ego boost or for financial gains. And we all know that Trump does that. Harris also spoke on the disappearance of the middle class in America as the prices of everyday necessities rise past the current wage or salaries of the country due to corporate greed, and the damage that Trump's policies would have and has had on the middle class, and shrinking the middle class as a whole, and as he would further do with his policy agenda called Project 2025. We also have an episode on that, so please go check it out if you haven't done so already. Now, It's no wonder that Donald Trump has started to panic, right? Even after being underestimated, disrespected, and lied on, VP Harris is dominating the polls without having to resort to dirty tricks or scamming money from supporters through quote unquote election integrity defense funds to bankroll dying hotels and legal fees for criminal cases like Donald Trump is doing. Now, while he and his lackeys want to rip apart the very fabric of our nation and throw us back decades into the past, Vice President Harris is promising a path to a better America and bringing back the opportunities and the values that our country used to stand for before he ripped them to shreds. But even with that, we need to always be vigilant and be a part of making that future a reality, and to show those who do want to keep us down that we will not be silenced. We will not turn back. We are not going back. Also, the fact that VP Harris is a Black woman has caused Republicans to put on full display their own misogyny as well as their racism. They have managed to do this in many ways, but in one of the more ridiculous ways, they have filed a lawsuit against Harris in an effort to disqualify her from the presidency. In the lawsuit, the National Federation of Republican Assembly cited arguably the most racist Supreme Court case they could possibly find from 1857 called Dred Scott, which upheld slavery and ruled enslaved Black people are not citizens of the United States and thus cannot expect any protection by the federal government or the courts, even if they're born in the United States. It also ruled that all Black people, including those born in America, could never be United States citizens. Think about that for a second. The Republican Party of 2024 is using a racist Supreme Court ruling from 1857 to try to disqualify VP Harris from even running for president. What in the hell? In my opinion, if you are still a part of this Republican Party and you haven't disavowed this or any other racist things that the party or Trump has done or said, it's probably because you too are a racist. And if you don't think you're a racist, you're probably in denial. And if you're Black and still riding with this nonsense, well, that's a whole other conversation that I don't have enough time to get into today. So, since the excitement of the DNC, the nominees are back on the road holding rallies in multiple states with less than 2 months left until the election. After her official acceptance of the presidential nomination, Vice President Harris and Coach Walz have been addressing issues that Americans are actually interested in. They've been talking about solutions for the housing crisis and returning women's rights to choose what they do with their bodies. They've discussed affordable child care and medical care, while former President Trump continues to stumble and bumble around the issues and lie about Project 2025 not being his policy platform and desecrating the Arlington National Cemetery for a propaganda video. Now, the finish line is right around the corner. And it will take all of us, each and every one of us, to push our country into a better future. So make sure that you are registered to vote, have a plan to vote, and then vote. Everyone, go to iwillvote.com to check your status and to get registered if you are not registered to vote. It's extremely important every election cycle, especially this one, to make sure that your vote will count in this election. But it's also important to not just vote for the presidential nominees or the presidential candidates, but to vote up and down the ballot. Any positions that are up for election or re-election, you need to be voting for, and that includes the U.S. Senate, the U.S. House of Representatives. So voting for your Congress also matters, because presidents can't legislate as much as they would like when they don't also have control over both houses of Congress. So remember that when you're out here voting, remember that we're not just voting for the president, but you must vote up and down the ballots, including in your local district. So voting for those local positions is very important as well. Vote your conscience this election, and we hope to see you back here next week during our next episode.
Kamala Harris will work to solve our problems, seize our opportunities, ease our fears. and make sure every single American, however they vote, has a chance to chase their dreams.
Our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. On behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of my mother and everyone who has ever set out on their own unlikely journey, on behalf of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard, chase their dreams, and look out for one another, on behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States. But America, we are not going back. Opportunity is not available to everyone. That's why we will create what I call an opportunity economy, where everyone has the chance to compete and a chance to succeed. Whether you live in a rural area, small town, or big city. And as president, I will bring together labor and workers and small business owners and entrepreneurs and American companies to create jobs, to grow our economy, and to lower the cost of everyday needs like health care and housing and groceries. We will provide access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders. And we will end America's housing shortage and protect Social Security and Medicare. Never let anyone tell you who you are. You show them who you are.
Missed it, Black Audacity style. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and turn on those notifications so that you can see more Black Audacity Magazine YouTube content show up in your feed. I'm LaWanda Morris, CEO of Black Audacity Magazine, and we are unapologetically and unambiguously Black Audacity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next week. Please stick around for a brief word from our sponsors. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Black Skin Beauty. Black Skin Beauty is that black don't crack kind of beauty, y'all, that we all want, and now that we all can have with Black Skin Beauty's new youthful regimen. Black Skin Beauty can help you get your skin all the way together. Black Skin Beauty offers a revolutionary 3-step youthful skin regimen to help your skin look and feel younger than ever before. Check out their website at www.blackskinbeauty.com. That's BLKSKNBEAUTY.com to enter for a chance to win free products and to get 10% off. Black Skin Beauty, that black don't crack kind of beauty. Check them out on Instagram today at Black Skin Beauty.